When I started producing, I wasn't good. None of us are good in the beginning. But I was hungry and music became my identity. The one thing that kept me grounded. I had no equipment, no mentors, no roadmap. Just vibes and late nights. Trying again and again until my sound started to form. Funny enough, when I look back now, I didn't even realize how active I was. 2016 was a year everything started shifting. I was making beats, recording friends, experimenting every day, planting seeds without knowing what they would become. Every session taught me something, even when nothing came out right. And without knowing it, discipline was being built in the background. Those nights weren't wasted. They were shaping the foundation I'm standing on now. The first mainstream artist who recorded on one of my beats was Chino McGregor. The song isn't even out, to be honest. The song was a collab between the label that I was a part of at the time and Blackyard Productions, which is my friend's label, Davian Campbell. No, I met Davian through OJ. Me and OJ used to make riddim together, and one day he brought Davian by, and Davian asked me to hear some of my beats. And Davian was like, alright, this need a piano and yeah, add a breakdown here, so okay, this need two more sounds. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, I don't know him. And he actually believed in some of my not so good beats and gave me some good pointers as somebody who didn't make beats, but he produced music and he had at the time I'd been around artists and had music out, had like a whole juggling out at the time. So I listened and there was one specific beat that I had where I specifically watched a tutorial and kind of constructed the beat in my own way. It was only chords because at that time I think I couldn't play melodies like that, so it was like a full chord beat, if that makes sense. So the beat had only chords. So even the melody would be like a chord progression, but I would play it arpeggiated. Brought in OJ and OJ added a different bass line. My bass line was static, followed the chords. I didn't really understand movement in bass lines and things like that. Got a call one night, say, yo, meet up by Big Ship Studio. Me and Wicked and some other friends went by Big Ship. It Chino the riddim, and that was like the first experience of hearing a mainstream artist, hearing an artist that I grew up listening to on a beat that I made in my little bedroom studio at the time. I kind of showed that the vision was real and the dream was real. It was a good session. We didn't pay for the song. We only paid the engineer. I was good on Chino's part and tried to get another artist on the riddim. I won't say the name of the artist, but I ended up getting scammed. Like, say, the artist charged me like it wasn't a lot of money. It was like $15,000, which was I thought was a steal to get a mainstream artist for $15,000. Anyways, we send the money through Western Union, wait for days for the song. Like we all know when I get about the song. After that, we ended up putting out the riddim. Like there's one song on the riddim, a Lisa Hyper song titled Primary River. That song came out also years after. That riddim was made in probably 2015 and recorded in Chino 2016. Yeah, that was it for that riddim. Lisa Hyper actually saved the riddim, to be honest. Like the song is actually out. I'll link the song. Selling my first beat was a different story. Selling beats it's a topic that I'm not 100% with in terms of like beat sales. Beat sales usually undercut the beat maker like 9 out of 10 times. It's always been something touchy for me. But music is something that you need capital sometimes, and it don't hurt selling beats. I think I've always had the view that music is infinite. I can always create something fresher, something better. So that I guess that's the silver lining, when it comes to selling beats. So someone had reached out to me through a friend. They wanted beats to buy. but didn't know exactly what they wanted. To be honest, a lot of people struggle with conveying their ideas. I created some ideas, and I actually made one of my favorite beats to date. It was more on the reality side, so more playing, more piano elements, and one thing that I remember using a plugin called Damage in native instruments. Damage is usually used in more orchestral, more cinematic beats used in for example, like a Tamil beat. Damage drums have been used. I can hear them on a few Tamil songs. There's this Mavado song that came out in 2015 that the drums on that were from Damage for sure. I sold the beat for 300 USD. That was like 2018. 2018, after selling my first riddim, I did Most Wanted and Cyber Freak. Recorded Most Wanted February 2018. I did that with Article and Quada. Quada was buzzing around that time, Article was somebody who I met in 2016 and I started working with him then. Used to just send him beats and I used to like record him. If he was recording for somebody else, I would engineer most of his sessions. So it was really refreshing to record like someone like Quada at the time who was just garnering the street buzz and thing, and that was actually my first video, my first official music video. Article Most Wanted, and still Article's biggest song numbers wise. And followed up with Emily Cyber Freak 2018 as well. 2019 Olympia Rose, I spoke about that in the previous video. In 21 I produced pretty much 13 of 14 tracks from Usain's Boat's Country Yutes album, which peaked at number 6 on the reggae Billboard charts. So yeah, that was a milestone for me. One of the songs, It's a Party. That song got placed at the 2024 Euros. I think Fox was one of the networks that used the song, their Euro 2024 campaign. So that was good as well. Music isn't really limited to the music industry as we know it, working with artists as we know it. There are other opportunities. Behind every win, there's years of real struggle. Like, music is expensive, plugins are expensive, everything costs. But give me a laptop and a DAW and I'll make some magic. This journey is not for the weak. There are a lot of gems, there are a lot of real talented people out there who have dedicated their life to whatever their craft is, whether they're a producer or an engineer or an artist. They spend a lot of time. That's why personally I don't knock anyone who is in this field, whether they're a beat maker, whether they're an executive producer, whether they're, whatever they are, like, it requires some amount of feeling, some amount of human feeling to really do this at any level, some amount of emotion, I don't know if I'm getting the words right, but yeah, I'm doing my best to do these talking videos, express myself more and tell my story. I'm going to always say that, like, I want to tell my story. I want to inspire others. There have been times in the past where I came on YouTube and I can't, like, it was impossible to find like a Jamaican creator in my field, And that's one of the things that I think is lacking in this industry. Mentorship. There isn't a lot of mentors. I didn't have any, and it's something that's needed. A lot of people, a lot of dancehall conservatives complain about dancehall being dead and things shifting, but they didn't pass on what they knew, We had to figure things out on our own with, I guess, more access to the internet and so. If you mess with this video, like, share and subscribe. Episode 3 is coming up with latest projects and much more. Bless.